All right, guys, welcome back. We are whipping through the Shea House series. We just finished lesson 7 and we're on to lesson number 8. And go to the community taught website. We just go to homework, and I find this list a little bit easier to use. So I think I'm going to use this list from now on. But we come down to the Shea How, learn how to code, and come to lesson number 8, creating lists. So lists are a little bit more of a niche topic in web development. Obviously, there are web pages that use lists, but not every web page uses a list. So it's one of those tools that's good to have in your back pocket. The fringe elements that I'm sure is important because it does come up and not enough that it will be useful, and it would be a detriment if you aren't able to use lists effectively. Is long enough and it gives quite a bit of detail in these different types of lists from what I can see. So what I'm going to do is dive in here, take a look through the lesson, and I'll come back with the takeaways for you guys. All right, I just read through Shea Howe's lesson number 8, creating lists. A lot of useful information, pretty straightforward overall. You've got 3 different types of lists. You've got unordered lists, you've got ordered lists, and then you've got descriptive lists. So pretty self-explanatory. Unordered lists are a list of objects that are related, but the order doesn't matter. Colors, red, orange, green, blue. Say green, red, blue, orange. It's still the same list. There's no real meaning to having one color listed over the other. But whereas an ordered list, something like a recipe, and depending on how you mix these ingredients, the order does matter. Descriptive lists, you have lists of things along with a description of them. Those are the 3 types of lists that you use. Now it goes on to kind of with these lists a little bit. So the first step in working with these lists is having nested lists, which means a list within a list. So you can have unordered list within ordered list or ordered list within unordered list. There doesn't really seem to be too much limitations there, but you will notice that styling the lists will change depending on how far nested it is into other lists. So by styling, I mean the list will have markers on the side, either dots, squares, discs. So these will change depending on how far nested you are into another list. Basically control these markers. So you can change it from a square to a circle to a check mark to whatever serves the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish. And you can also use images as these markers. So you can also use numbers, Roman numerals. There's also different attributes that allow you to start a list from a certain number. So if you want to start a list from 20, you can have your list go from 20, 21, 22, so on. Or you can intervene midway through a list. So you have 1, 2, 3, 20, 21, 22. Basically, it just gives you control over the list and how it's being labeled. There's no real limitations when it comes to these lists, it seems like. So you've got the 3 different types of lists. You've got the ways you can style lists, and you can also have horizontal lists. So if you want to have a list laid out side by side, there's basically 2 methods to do it. There's the old school float method, which is kind of outdated. Now you would probably use the flex in CSS to have them side by side. That wraps up the material on lists in lesson number 8. Also say that lists are a lot of aspects of web development that you wouldn't necessarily consider. So if you think about the menu bar at the top of a web page, doesn't necessarily look like a list, but it's actually a horizontal list. So it gives you a list of different options of how to navigate the web page. So coming into this, I didn't think they were as prevalent, but just because something doesn't necessarily look like a list doesn't mean that it's not a list. And what it does give us a lot of control over how our lists are being displayed, which is obviously a good thing. And so overall, it's a good lesson. It's detail oriented, but more brief than the other lessons. It is lesson number 8 in Shay How Learning HTML and CSS. And we are on to the next lesson.